All righty. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today to our Career on Wheels for the Boys and Girls Club of Albany. It's such an honor to be on today to share with you during this amazing event in time. Hey, today our special guest is none other. This wonderful guru of STEM technology herself, Miss Sumter, is coming on in just a few moments to share with us today about the many adventures that she is doing in her business and in the career field of STEM with various organizations as her brand is focusing on me. And so we're so excited to have her on today. So, ladies and gentlemen and listeners, no further ado, here is Miss Sumter. Hello, Miss Sumter. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you today?
Great. Hey, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come on today and share with us today.
I appreciate the opportunity so much.
Hey, listen, so if you could just share a little bit about yourself to our listeners and viewers, that'd be great.
Well, as you know, my name is LaQuata Sumter. I'm the founder and CEO of Focusing on Me, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on encouraging STEM to children in rural areas. I'm also the program chair and instructor at Albany Technical College for computer and electrical engineering. My main focus there now is electronics as well and computer engineering. My main background actually is computers. Been in IT for going on 15 years now. I've been a programmer for about 10 and a half years. More so, a PC tech is where I first started, but now I've gotten into programming and going more into the drone technology as well.
All right. So, listen, it seems like technology and STEM has been a part of your life for quite some time now.
Oh, yeah,
So,
definitely.
let's walk through a little bit about yourself and let's build up to your current role here. So taking a look at your bio, seeing that you originated and born in Red Top, South Carolina, and then coming down to Albany, Georgia to Darton College. What kind of put you on this pathway of technology?
Well, actually, technology started in high school. I went to this school called Garrett Academy of Technology, where their focus were mainly getting students prepared for the workforce. It's something like the 4C. And so my focus there was computer networking. So I took the computer networking track. I like networking, but networking really didn't interest me as much as programming and PC repair. So I did the networking track throughout high school, but left the networking track after high school and going into college and went into the computer science and computer information track where there's more programming and more of the system analysts and the business aspects of computer technology.
Okay. And so, looking at that experience from high school, do you look back on that experience and really appreciate the foundation that it really laid for you and the journey that you are on now?
Oh, most definitely. One aspect of um, making sure that or using the techniques and using what I gained in high school was my certifications. When I graduated from Albany State, the main thing was having a certification is what got me my job at Albany Tech when I first started teaching at Albany Tech in 2010. They were surprised that at an early age I had a certification and I had internship experience. And those are things that I learned in high school.
Mm-hmm. And so, taking a look at the experience and building blocks that have happened over your life, and seeing your journey now of being chair at Albany Technical College, owning your own business, of focusing on me. What sparked your interest into drones?
Well, actually, I got into drones through um, looking for something different. When I got back into the classroom, I was looking to do something different for the students and to learn something new. So I did some research on the new technology and what was a hot topic in new technology. And the topics came up was artificial intelligence and drone technology. And happened so the drone technology piqued my interest a little bit more than artificial intelligence, even though I've been dabbing in it. Artificial intelligence in the background as well as drones. Many don't know I've been looking into artificial intelligence and the face recognition and tracking and how to program artificial intelligence as well. But the
Hmm.
drone technology seemed to be more prevalent for the time, and that the drones were actually becoming a hot topic. And I noticed that our children weren't being introduced into drone technology education. They were being introduced into drone technology as far as they know that drones fly, they know that they take pictures, but as far as the educational aspect of it, and knowing that there were careers in drone technology, I didn't believe that many of our children in the rural areas knew about it. So started looking
Hmm.
into how to introduce that at Albany Tech. And while looking at introducing it into Albany Tech, it became a hot topic for K through 12. The children were interested and the parents were interested in me teaching the children about drone technology and the safety, and that there are careers that are available in flying drones or building them or programming them as well.
And so, looking at it, how important do you think that your role in STEM technology impacts the lives of children and young adults that you teach every day?
Oh, it's very impactful because it's somebody that looks like them, somebody that came from the same environment, same community. And I have a story to tell them about where I came from and how I grew up, that's similar to a lot of the students that I teach, and letting them know that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters how where you want to go, and you actually make that plan and you work through the plan. You write your vision out and work through the plan on where you want to go. And so some having someone that understands their learning style, having someone that understands their environment, their community, is very important for us to be able to teach our students.
And so, when we talk about the STEM field, when we talk about the drones, um, let's talk for a moment in depth about focusing on me. What is all included in focusing on me that you offer?
So focusing on me offers a couple of things in the STEM arena. One, we offer for K through 12 teachers, we offer them solutions to be able to integrate STEAM into their classroom. And one of our main focus is the drone technology, helping them integrate the drone technology into their classroom. Then on the other hand, we have the face-to-face or virtual instruction from myself with teaching our kids about drone technology outside of the classroom, and also preparing our high school students for the drone certification, the FAA Part 107. That's another aspect of focusing on me. And then there's the technology aspect of focusing on me that's important because I'm an electrical and a computer engineer, and I value teaching the lessons of how I got into the industry. The technology piece is teaching individuals such that look like me how to get into the IT field and how to work their way up the ladder. Because it's difficult being a double minority. An African American
Mhm.
female in technology is a double minority. Most in the higher up of technology in up in the ranks, you see white males. You don't see many African American females sitting at the table making those decisions. So And on the technology aspect, focusing on me helps help our students get moving up the ranks and get to where they want to be in the technology field.
So, do you see a wide variety of ladies come into STEM technology in the field that you're in?
Um, at in my age range, there are a lot of females in IT. A lot of them are programmers now. With girls who code and black girls who code, they're helping get us into the technology arena and allowing the children to see that we can get into IT. But what I haven't seen is a lot of people pushing our students to be CIOs, which is Chief Information Officers or Director of ITs at organizations. I haven't seen much of that being pushed. I've been seeing more of us teaching our children how to code and how to program. There are not many of us teaching them the project management aspect of IT to move them up the ranks as system analysts or corporate analysts, things of that sort. So that's what I'm looking more into now is how to get our children in the rural areas up the corporate ladder in IT. And it doesn't take us 20 to 30 years to get up that corporate ladder in the different corporate arenas, because most corporate offices are looking for you to produce. You got the
Hmm.
education. If you got the education, you got the certifications, and you have the drive to produce, the corporate offices are looking for you to produce. So that's what we're looking for, to teach our children how to get up that corporate ladder quickly and be successful
So,
in the corporate ladder.
so how would you describe a typical work day for you, with balancing everything that you have going with the being chair at Albany Tech, then operating, focusing on me? How does a normal work day look for you?
Well, I'm more of a night owl than a morning person. So I would spend my night, before I go to bed, I spend my night planning out my schedule for the next day. My day probably really starts about 8:30, 9ish, because I'm not a morning person. So once I get my day started, say for Albany Tech, my normal work day starts about 9ish, and that's looking at my emails, checking emails, responding to emails. I'm looking at my online classes and then grading any assignments that need to be done. With me having so many things on my plate, and having my hands or my irons in so many fires, it really takes a lot of time management. It takes the time to write down the schedule. It takes me to have things on my calendar, alerts going off, to remind me of different things. I even have an alert on my calendar to tell me to drink water, because you get so into working that you forget to drink water, you forget to eat, you
Hmm.
forget to get up. So I
Hmm.
have those things on my calendar that tells me drink water, take a snack, take a walk, read a book, listen to a audible, listen to a podcast. Those things are on my schedule. Then I have that time set aside for the nonprofit. Then I also have Sumter's web design. Sumter's web design really runs in the background. Don't really market it much, but people still call for websites. So I still have that business. And typically my day does not end until 12 or 1 o'clock a.m.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So all of these functions that are related to technology and STEM, do you ever see yourself in focusing on me, leaving the higher education and just doing focusing on me, launching it to a corporate investment business?
Maybe after retirement. One thing that I did start is I started teaching at 23 years old. So I will have 20 years in higher education, come at the age of 43, which is only 10 years from now, which will would have had the opportunity to build focusing on me and find out what the niche is for focusing on me and where focusing on me should ultimately go. One of the mentors that I watch on my podcast said a quote said that you work the work until you can work your own work. So I do see myself gaining all of the experience and knowledge that I can in higher ed and understanding technology and understanding the career field and how to get our students to work and the career workforce, and then eventually taking focusing on me to that next level where
Mhm.
we are the technology learning center of the South.
I like that technology learning center of the South because nowadays everything operates and moved by technology.
Hmm.
Even during this pandemic, it was hard for those people that have been in positions for 25 to 30 years that only knew the functions of typing and just submitting a document. But now, really having to work from home really costs a lot of people to rethink retirement and leave these corporate jobs to millennials because technology has just advanced so much. How quickly do you see the technology field growing now from when you first began in technology in high school?
Oh man, technology has quickly advanced and is quickly getting into to everything. In my PhD studies, I'm studying the model called the technology acceptance model, and in understanding the technology acceptance model, we look at the perceived ease of use and the usefulness and the behavior of intent to use technology. And in that research, I've seen numerous studies where they're looking where you will see people saying that they don't see the usefulness of technology, or they don't perceive it to be useful or perceive it to have the ease of use. But one thing that happened in this pandemic was those that did not see it useful had to push.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Yep.
actually pushed into technology, even though they didn't believe that it was useful or it was easy to use, whatever, and they had no intentions on ever using it. Their attitude had to change quickly because they were pushed into using technology to accomplish whatever goal that they were trying to accomplish. There were many that didn't like Facebook Live, they didn't like streaming, they didn't like any of those aspects. But
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to reach the audience that they wanted to reach, what did they have to do? They had to
Had to go
actually
to
go
technology.
into the technology that they once said that they would never use, they once said that
Mm-hmm.
they did not like. So it was a quick transition into technology that many people said they would never use.
And so looking at it, and it was really, really quick for a lot of people to pick up everything and to go, especially when COVID-19 happened. Technology played a huge role in a lot of companies surviving. And so
Hmm.
it caused a lot of people to really know their A game when it came to maneuvering through their various software and programs and just the simple functions of a laptop and technology device. When we talk about the advancement of someone like yourself, what really sparked you to start teaching in higher ed?
Oh man, that I had no idea that I would teach in higher ed. Throughout college, my goal was to work for IBM, Google. I even interned with the CIA. I interned with the Los Alamos National Lab. So I had an idea of going into either corporate or a government agency. I was working at Phoebe while I was going to Albany Tech. I was working there as a help desk, and I mean going to Albany State, excuse me, as a help desk analyst. So I had no intentions on really going into teaching. What sparked my interest in teaching was being at Albany State. And being at Albany State in the computer science department, looking at the professors that we had, there was only one professor that looked like me, and she had already been in the field for 20 years. So it was like, and that's Professor Gwendolyn Campbell. She was the professor there teaching computer science, but she was the only black female in the department. And you look at all the other professors and was like, many of us aren't going into the field because we don't see people that look like us. There are
Mm-hmm.
not many people in the field looking like us, encouraging us to go in the field. There aren't many teachers in the classrooms teaching our children the way that they learn. A lot of our children learn by hands on, but a lot of teachers don't understand that our children learn that way. So they're not teaching them that way. So what sparked my interest was Professor Gwendolyn Campbell and Connie Leggett, because they were in the classroom and they looked like me. And then I realized that one day they would be leaving the classroom and there would be nobody in the classroom that looked like me to teach those that look like me. And actually
Mm-hmm.
at Albany State right now, there's no African American female in the computer science department.
Mm.
But I spend a lot of my time now over there volunteering, in talking to the students in the department that look like me, to help encourage them and help them lead the way through the industry, because they don't have anybody there that can lead that way.
So, what educational preparation would you recommend for someone that's looking to go into your career field?
Oh man, it's numerous ways to get where I am. We often say that it doesn't matter how you get there, you just get there. And there are numerous ways to get where I am, but the some of the key factors that I state in my book, Lessons Learned as a African American Woman in IT. A couple of things that I noted was getting your certifications early. Whatever area of IT that you're looking at going into, you get those certifications in that area. Not only get a degree, but get certifications. Also, take internships. Go on internships and see what areas of IT that you really do like. Me having my internships were a great help in helping me understand which area of IT I wanted to go into, because I was working in the field and I was like, yeah, this isn't something I want to do the rest of my life. Like IT, PC tech, lugging around a computer, picking up a printer. That's something that I would get tired of. So I didn't want to do that the rest of my life. But my internship helped me to make that decision, and also finding a mentor. Finding someone who is doing what you want to do, and then talking to them, and then you have to have mentors for many different areas of your life. That a career mentor may not be your financial mentor, so you have to have multiple mentors, but find that mentor that fits where you want to go in your career, and you allow them to help you. One of the quotes that I found, or something that I heard a couple of years back, was your mentors have fought the demons that you won't have to fight. So you use your
Mm.
mentors for them to teach you lessons that they already fought and they already went through, so you won't have to go through those same trials and tribulations, because they've already been through them. The other thing is attending conferences in the areas of IT, learning from others. When you attend conferences, you see the research that's being done in the area of IT that you would like to study. It also helps intrude ideas for yourself on what you need to research or what you want to research. Drones was one of the things that I learned at a conference. It was new technology, and then I learned what was hot about drones and what I needed to bring down south, because most of the drone activity is either out west or up north. There aren't many that are teaching K through 12 drone education in the south. So a conference helped me to do that, and also make sure you get published early. Getting published in research, just studying different things of technology and studying the different aspects of what you want to go into. You could start writing little papers, and then it helps you become an expert in the field of what you
Mhm.
want to study. So those are the main key factors that I often point out that's important when getting into this field. And I point those out in my book as well. The lessons learned of an African American woman in IT. And those key factors go into detail. on how to do those key factors, getting internships, getting your certifications, picking a degree and going to conferences and getting published as well. And I have a little piece in there also on entrepreneurship in IT as well,
Hmm.
starting your IT business.
So let's talk for a moment about your book. What sparked you to start writing?
The major thing that sparked me was not having a book to help guide me. There wasn't any. I didn't find a book out there by an African American author to help guide a young woman in IT, to point them in the way of where they should go and how to accomplish goals in being into IT. Being a computer information systems instructor back in 2010 at Albany Tech, I saw how many African American females liked tinkling with technology but did not understand where to go and how to get into the field and what they wanted to do in the field. They knew they liked technology, but they didn't know what aspect of technology or what aspect of computer science or computer engineering or information technology that they wanted to get into. So the lessons learned throughout the book, a lot of people like, when did you have a time to write a book? Really, the writings were just things that I already knew. And being a teacher, and being in IT, all I did was write down what I did, and what I found that students didn't have, or what I found that people often ask me. People ask, well, how you get into IT, how you get a certification, well, how you start an
Hmm.
IT business, where do I go to look for internships? Those were questions that were asked. I was asked on a regular basis. So all I did was put it into a book.
So if you had to start over again, what would be your remarks to the 25-year-old self of yours again?
If I had to do it all over again, it would be pay attention to what the older people say,
Mhm.
because I heard them, but I didn't hear them.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
heard them, but I didn't hear them. And so a lot of the trials and tribulations that I went through, going through college and through life, I believe that I could have avoided if I had listened to those who were older than me. If I had listened to those who had already been through what I was trying to go through. If I had, and I progressed through the ladder really, really quickly. I moved up really, really fast, when I grasped the concept of listening to those that were older than me. When I grasped that concept, I started moving pretty quickly up the ladder, and started progressing and becoming successful really quickly. But it took some time for me to understand, or grasp that concept, that there were people who were older than me who had already done what I was trying to do, and I just needed to pay attention, and I needed to take their model and just mold it to where I wanted to go.
Mhm. And so when you share those experiences there, I want our listeners and viewers and our Boys and Girls Club members from across the country and Albany to understand that at some point you got to stop and listen and take note,
Yep.
write down, observe your surroundings, observe the people that are giving you advice, and also observe the current conditions of what you're going through, and take those experiences and really move forward with them. What you're doing now is actually listening to somebody that have went through the process, and really have experience, knows how to balance life. Pretty much have laid out a whole template. So if she stopped today, somebody else can pick up the torch and continue to run with it. So take these nuggets today. Really, really enjoy this conversation that she's sharing and the information that she's sharing with you today. It's life changing, even for me, to figure out how to balance multiple things at one time.
Mhm.
Which leads to the next question that somebody sent in. What do you think? What do you think is so important for millennials and teens to know today, that really helps shape their future to become on a pathway like yourself?
I would say critical thinking skills. being able to think critically, being able to solve problems. I noticed that a lot of children today don't have a lot of critical thinking skills. They can't solve problems, complex problems. Let's say that a lot of complex problems, having to think through situations or having to think through scenarios. Um, a lot of the IT things is engineering, computer science, computer information systems, all of that, all of it is engineering. The person that made Facebook, they were thinking critically.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking to solve a problem. They were problem solving. The person that founded Twitter, Snapchat, all of those individuals were problem solvers. They were able to find a problem, and then they made the solution to the problem. So that's the thing. Problem solving and critical thinking skills are important for our children today, to go through really anything, but especially
Mm-hmm.
through IT and engineering, computer science, any of those fields. Critical thinking, being quick on your feet, thinking outside of the box, is important. Myself, I'm a little different. I can use the creative side of my brain, and I can use the technical side of my brain. You don't find people that can do that often. But I can switch in between the two. And I think that sometimes that's important, for some of our young kids to be creative, but also to be technical as well.
That's a good point. Good information. Good information. And so I know you have a busy schedule ahead of you today, and you've carved out a certain amount of time for us. But there's one more question that I must ask, and this person to get me. What do you look for in people to come along and work alongside you in terms of high school? This comes from a high school student.
Ambition, that
Mhm.
and being teachable. If you're teachable, I'm able to teach you what I know. Wanting to know the ins and outs, and I'm the type of person. Some people don't like to teach people what they know, but I'm an educator. I like to teach people what I know. I like to be able to pass on that torch, because I should be moving up the ladder, or I should be moving on to greater. And there should be a next step for me throughout my career. So, and if there's a next step for me, there should be somebody behind me to take a next step up to behind me. So I look to teach those what I know. If you want to sit down at the table with me, I'll give you a little bit of time and sit down at the table and have a cup of tea or have a cup of coffee, and explain the aspects of what I do and how I do it. But I'm not a time waster. I don't like people to waste my time. So if it's somebody that's willing to learn, they're ambitious, they're a go-getter. Many know that I'm a fast-paced person, and I'm a go-getter. I have my hands in so many different things. So wasting time is something that I mean, that's a pet peeve of mine. Wasting time.
Yep.
So I'm willing to teach whatever I know. I'm willing to sit down at the table. I'm a good mentor. I like to mentor those behind me to get to the places where I am, and eventually be better than me. Because if I'm teaching you what I know, you should be better than me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, any final parting words to our listeners and viewers today? And again, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. The ladies that are in love with IT technology from the 4C Academy have been texting, and they've been enjoying your answers and responses.
Not yet. Okay, there you go.
All right. Any final words or partings?
Final words. Definitely find out your passion.
Mm-hmm.
um, find out your passion, find out what you like to do, and what you like to do, and whatever your passion is, you allow that to drive you. I had to learn, and I just learned it probably 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, that you got to stop chasing the money, and you chase your passion and your purpose, and the money will come. If
Yeah.
whatever you like to do, you spend the time in crafting that craft. You spend the time in investing in learning whatever that is, that you enjoy doing. And I had a problem of being a jack of all trades and a master of none, putting my hands in a whole lot of different stuff, but
Hmm.
wasn't getting anything accomplished. But my advice is find your niche, find what works for you, find what helps you get up in the morning, what encourages you to get up in the morning, what excites you to get up in the morning. The things that you do have to excite you. And I'll be honest, money excites me, so making money excites me. So me getting up and actually doing some work and know that I'm going to make some money from doing that work excites me. And it's also my passion to teach those what I know. So being in education is my passion, and IT is definitely my passion. And I notice that my purpose is to help those that come behind me um, go through the field as well. So get into something that you are passionate about, you enjoy, and invest in yourself. Invest in learning that passion that you have. Invest in learning in that craft. And that those are the two major things that I could say. Invest in yourself and invest in your craft.
Hey, that's some good information. I often tell our teams at the Boys and Girls Club, is to make sure that you take time to invest in yourself.
Hmm.
Go to as many conferences as possible. Uh, get connected with everybody that comes in, anybody that not a familiar face to you that seems to be well dressed with a badge on. Get to know them.
Get to
Connect
know them.
yourself with the right people. You never know where your next opportunity is going to come from. You never know who's coming across your path today to open up an opportunity for you to move forward in life. So always be prepared. Constantly study and read. And so we thank you for the day, for you taking time out of your schedule. We thank you so much for all that you do for the Boys and Girls Club of Albany. And we look forward to our drones this summer, and the trainings that you'll be providing for our teams. And so we say thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, no problem. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right, you do the same.
All right, Boys and Girls Club listeners. Hey, we thank you for another Career on Wheels segment today with Miss Sumter. Listen, go ahead and complete the Google Form survey that's in the comments section. Let us know exactly how you enjoyed today's broadcast. So many jewels was dropped today for her in the accomplishments that she's made from coming from South Carolina to Albany, Georgia, and to making so many milestones and accomplishments happen while here in Albany, Georgia. To our teams, don't let anybody look down on you because of where you come from, in the direction of where you're going. Continue to strive because there are some wonderful people that come to our good life city that do major things. And so we're so proud to have her amongst us and a part of our work here at the Boys and Girls Club, even in making strides in STEM and technology in the drone fields. Hey, it's major investment. There's not many African American women that you can find that has is invested into STEM technology as she is. And so, to everybody, thank you for tuning in and listening today. And this is another Boys and Girls Club Career on Wheels. We'll see you on Tuesday for our college talk.